Hola, Signor, Signorita. I'm back from Lanzarote after that thumping 6-2 win over Peterborough to bring you for the first half of Sheffield United against Preston North End. Robin Olsen gets his debut in goal with the biggest pair of goalkeeper gloves in Sheffield United's history, like those joke gloves that you get given. One other change, it saw Luke Freeman given an opportunity. Ben Osborne had with 2 goal exploits at the weekend under the weather. Hope Ben's on the mend and feeling better soon. Game started really promising from the Blades. Some nice passing about, which was really good to see. Looking to get forward, looking to carry on with the momentum. And 7 minutes in, 𝐍𝐸𝐽𝐽𝐻𝐿, second goal in second game for Sheffield United. It came back, a couple of ricochets, Freeman did well, and he put it away with great aplomb. Blades lead 1-0, and it looked like it could be a game where we would go on and get 2, 3, 4 or 5 again. We could certainly live in hope. Then there was a rough challenge on Ollie Norwood, which led to the game's first yellow card. A little bit of confusion as to who the yellow card went to. And after that, Preston came back into the game. And on 19 minutes, a long ball pumped forward. And the Blades, Robin Olsen, where was he going? What was happening? Was it like a communication? I don't know, but it was slotted home by Johnson. And it was Preston who equalised. Sheffield United 1, Preston North End 1. After that, the game sort of petered out. We were living to regret Billy Sharp not scoring on 10. Cross came in, Billy got a header, should have scored, should have made it 2-0, and we're suddenly looking at a very different game. But like I said, the first half sort of petered out. Both sides trying to get one over. Preston, bit of long ball. The Blades passing it about a bit, but with no real clear-cut chances. That was until just before the break. The ball came across on Luke Freeman. The cardinal sin, schoolboy error of leaning back when 1 yard either side of Everson, and the Blades would have been taking a lead into half-time. Overall first half performance was pretty steady. It was like Saturday. It was 1-1 at half-time, was a goal glut on the way. For me, it needed sprucing up a little bit, and Dye not quite as on top of his game as he was earlier in the game against Peterborough. For me, it would be giving Ryan Brewster a strike. I called on the live watch along that I thought Ollie McBurney was going to come on and get the winner. I'm recording this kindly. Hal's let me come away from the watch along to record this at half time. And I've said for everybody on the watch along, I'm giving a prediction, and this is the prediction. Sheffield United to win it by 2-1. Second half, come on Blades, we can do it.
So no changes for either side in the second half. I'm sure we're all hoping for United to get the foot on the ball and go on the front foot early in this second half. It didn't quite happen straight away though. Preston were definitely looking the side wanting to take initiative straight away after the break. They were mainly targeting our left-hand side, looking to get Jack Robinson isolated one-on-one as much as possible. They were succeeding. Thankfully, our defending was solid. They didn't get many chances. It wasn't until about the 60th minute that we started to play some better football and started taking control of the game. Berg came on for Freeman around that time, and Dye ended up getting subbed on 70 minutes for Brewster from a knock, but he had another really good half, in my opinion. Was always shown for the ball, was good on the turn, showed some good skill, good turn of pace. Nearly provided an assist for Sharp, but just couldn't lift it over the goalkeeper, so another promising game from him. Fleck had a really good opportunity, I think on about 75 minutes. He was clean through one-on-one, tried to dink it over the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, didn't come off. A really good save from the goalkeeper, actually. Could he have squared it to Brewster? Who knows? Maybe a chance missed there. On about 82, Olsen made a fantastic save, certainly redeeming for his error earlier in the game, resulting in their goal. Looked a certain goal, saving one-on-one over the bar. Cleared the corner, and we actually went up the other end and scored with that break. Fleck with a lovely driving run, ricocheted a bit in the box, and Berg with the first time finish putting us 2-1 up. Really pleased for him, really pleased he's got a goal in front of the fans, and hopefully this can kickstart his season. Nothing much happened up to the 90 minutes, but then the dreaded added time came up on the board, and I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone where I have absolutely no clue where them 5 minutes came from. No clue whatsoever. Maybe 2 or 3, but not 5. And we did really well up until the final minute, didn't we? Really well. We kept the ball getting up the pitch, but then Hurahan gave away a silly free kick on halfway, lobbed into our box. Jack Robinson thought, you know what, I'm going to go for this. No clue why, they never got to it. He's not at all centre-half. It didn't time it well at all. Landed on their play, easy finish when he put across the box. Really frustrating because on that basis of that second half, we would have been deserved winners if we'd won. Really frustrating game. Another one where we just rued the chances missed, really. But hopefully we can put it right at Hull at the weekend and get on another winning run. Up the Blades.
Hiya, Blades. Yeah, that were annoying, weren't it? So I'm going to reflect player ratings for a quite frustrating 2-2 draw with Preston tonight. So, starting in goal. So, Olsen making his debut. I'm giving him a 5. So I thought first half, he handled crosses into the box quite well, I felt. Coming out, being decisive, punching, he made one really good catch. But obviously for the goal, he has to take his share of the blame. He's come out potentially unnecessarily. He's then slipped and just left their man running in on goal. Second half, he made one fantastic save. They're in one-on-one. He's come out, spread himself really well. So I thought, all in all, mixed. Didn't think there was anything he could do for the second goal. So I'm giving him a 5. But I think there's definitely room for him to develop in there. And obviously, on another night, maybe that first goal, if we don't fall over. But we'll never know. So moving into the defence, Baldock, I'm giving a 6. Thought he got better as the game went on. I think first half, there was a little bit of the system didn't help him. Obviously, when we're playing �W𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐜𝐚𝐷, there's not much defensive responsibility placed on him. So it's a big job for Baldock. They had a big target man on that right-hand side. They were obviously trying to focus a lot of their play through him. And I thought it took Baldock a while to get to grips with it. But second half, I thought he was really good. I thought he controlled that. They weren't creating. Nothing was coming down his side. And he was getting forward and offering us chances. So I thought it was a really encouraging performance from him. So I'm giving him a 6. Next to him, John Egan, I'm also giving a 6. Thought he was strong today. They went aerial a lot. I thought he handled himself really well. He was winning his challenges. And I did think he had a good game. You saw him trying to bring the ball out and be proactive as well. So that was good to see. Next to him, Robinson. I'm giving him a 4. I think he has to take his share of the blame for the first goal. I think their lad is running from deep, but it's down the left-hand side. He's got to track that run. He's got to follow him back. And then obviously he can't really legislate for the keeper being that far out. Then the second goal, it's a ball into the box and it's right on his head. If he stands tall, he heads it away. We win that game 2-1. Instead, he messes his header up, he mistimes his jump, and he flicks it through for their winger to get the ball in the box. Unfortunately, I just don't think it works for him in a back 4. I think he's either got to play in a 3 or we need somebody else to cover that position. We'll see what we do going forwards, but I don't think it's the role for Robinson. Next to him, Norrington Davis, I'm giving a 5. I think going forwards, he looked good. I thought when he was putting his head down, sprinting down that wing, he seemed to have Daniel Johnson on toast. He was powering past him quite a lot. But again, defensively, all of our issues were coming down that left side. This first goal, you know, it's Robinson's man probably to track if he's running from deep, but Norrington Davis has got to have an eye on that. Second goal, again, he slips and their man is then free to put that cross in. So I don't think he's to blame for either of them, don't get me wrong, but I just wonder if maybe he could cover himself a little bit better and maybe could have seen a bit more from him today. Into the midfield, and I thought the midfield played pretty well. I think Norwood, I've given him a 6. I thought he was controlled. I thought he was passing the ball well. I didn't think he did any of those sort of sloppy mistakes we've seen come from him this season. So I thought it was a much better performance from him. I think he really helped us control that tempo and control that midfield. Next to him, John Fleck, I've given a 7. Thought Fleck had a really good game today. I think he was probably our standout player. There was a point in the second half where he got his head down, charged for on goal, and their keeper's made a pretty good save. He was unlucky not to score. Could he have released the ball earlier? Potentially. But I don't know if Brewster was offside anyway. But yeah, I really thought Fleck had a good game today. I think he was probably our best player. With them, first off, we had Freeman. Now, Freeman, I thought, did okay. First goal, obviously, he's the one getting down that side, putting the ball in, which eventually creates the chance for the goal. I'm giving him a 6, though. I think, again, our troubles came down that left side, and I think a lot of it is that when Osborne plays there, he can sit in and cover the defensive aspect. So if Norrington Davis goes forward, you've got somebody there who's got the energy and who's got that drive to get back and defend. With Freeman in there, the balance isn't right. Now, that's not Freeman's fault, but it does influence the way that we can affect the game. And I think it does reflect on his performance a little bit that we weren't able to do that the same way. Gibbs-White on the other side, I'm going for a 7. Now, Gibbs-White, similar to Freeman, actually, I think the way he plays does affect our game. I don't think he's asked to cover back for Baldock. But that did in the first half affect us a little bit, as we did lose a little bit of width. But he scored a really nice goal. He took it well first time. He's fallen. He's managed to put that in. Thought he took it really well. And I think when our bright moments were coming, they were probably going to come from him. I still think it's a really encouraging sign having him on our side. And I think he's got a lot to offer us. So I'm giving him a 7 today. If I was ranking him, it'd be just below Fleck in terms of our effective players. In front of them, I thought 𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐝 looked tired today. I've given him a 5. I think he had his moments. He had some really bright sparks, some really nice touches. He played a lovely through ball as well at one point, I think, for Sharp. So he could have had a really good impact on the game still, even though he was tired and wasn't as good as he had been at the weekend, which I think is a really positive sign, really encouraging, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from him. Just didn't think it quite worked for him tonight against a big physical Preston side. Billy Sharp next to him, I've also gone for a 5. I think, again, that point about how physical Preston were is a big one. So Billy's game on Saturday was excellent because he was holding the ball up. He was given a little bit of time to control it and pick his passes. Tonight, it just wasn't the same. They were up behind him very quickly. They were forcing him backwards, and he wasn't able to control the ball in quite the same way. I'm also, admittedly, just a bit frustrated about the free kick he gave away at the end of the game. Obviously, we should still defend that free kick, but I do think it was silly giving it away when they're playing back towards their own goal. But that's just me being annoyed. In terms of the subs, I thought the subs, you know, I don't think they made us worse today. I think they were quite effective. I think Hourihan coming on, he really gave us something else. He's a bit taller in the midfield as well, which was important tonight. He did well in getting the ball down and sort of keeping us moving. He got the ball in the corner at one point and unfortunately gave it away, but fought really well to try and get back, to try and win a tackle. I think he gave a free kick away in the end, but for the most part, I thought he was relatively effective. I've given him a 6. Next to him, Brewster. He came on, I think he was playing off the left wing, and he had some nice touches. He wasn't involved in the game very much. I think he struggled a little bit in imposing himself, but I thought what he did do, he handled quite well, so I've also given him a 6. He didn't really have enough time to have an impact on the game. And then Sander Berge. He comes on, he scores what probably should have been the winning goal. I thought he did quite well going forwards. He seemed to get his head down quite a bit and run down the wing. Won us a couple of corners. On that right-hand side, he was quite controlling in possession. There were a few times, especially in added time, where we just had all of the ball. And a lot of that was running through Sander Berge on that right side. So I thought he was really effective when he came on. I've also given him a 7 today. You could probably say I've just given goal scorers 7s and then John Fleck was the best player. So I think that's probably reasonable. In terms of Slav, it's a difficult one to judge today because I don't think he's done anything wrong. You can't legislate for some of the issues that have come into the game. Giving him a 6, I think he was right to go with pretty much the same team that we had on Saturday. I think his subs were effective in the way that they affected the game. But I think in terms of the way that we are setting up, today we were a little bit exposed. The sub of Freeman for Osborne, while, you know, we can't affect that, we've only got limited options that can play that left-sided midfield role. I do think that took something just a little bit away from us today, left us a little bit exposed at the back. But certainly, I still think there's positive signs there. I think we should have won the game. And certainly nothing too negative beyond the frustration of a last-minute conceded equaliser. So, interesting way of saying that. But no, look, still positive. Still think that the signings we've made deadline day have made a huge difference. I think this team is capable of pushing on, and hopefully we'll start to see that on Saturday. Up the Blades.
Okay, so positives and negatives of that. 2-2 draw at home to Preston, conceding a gutting last-minute equaliser. Tonight, the couple of positives that we'll take from that is John Fleck had another very good game. That's 2 very, very good games in a row. I think having 𝐌𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐝 in the team and 𝐸𝐸, that creativity in front of him is helping his game a little bit. So he's returning back to the John Fleck that we all know and love, and have sadly missed for a large part of last season. Sander Berge, another positive tonight. Very, very good cameo. Think he caused a few problems. Deservedly got a goal as well. Popped up in the position exactly where we needed him to be to give us a lead. And the final positive we'll take is that looking at performance-wise, we do look a better team than probably were 5 games ago. However, having said that, onto the negative is that we're still gifting the opposition silly goals, and we've got to cut that out immediately. If we're serious about getting top 6 or pushing for automatic promotion, we can't afford to be giving the opposition 2-3 goals every single week. It's a very worrying trend. So, you know, got a few games left before the international break. Opportunity again to pick up some more points, you know, and playing the way that we are, I do think, you know, we will pick up these points. You know, I'm confident we will do.
Good evening, Pommpey here with the where do we go from here bit. Bit of a crestfallen Pommpey actually after what seemed to be a victory for the taking really tonight. We'd worked hard to actually get ourselves in front, and a great taken goal by Sander Berge, who made such a difference when he came on. And I think if we are going to move forward, we've got to start Sander Berge. We've got to get him into the flow of the game and get him creating from the outset. That's not to say that Freeman didn't contribute, and I thought his contribution was very good. But we've got to sort our midfield out. We've got to stop this negativity that creeps in every now and again that forces us to play a predictable game of shifting it out to the flanks and down into the crossing zone, where we just don't seem to have a clue what to do. We just pass it backwards and forwards and eventually lose it in a crucial area. I don't know why we're averse to crossing it, because Billy Sharp feeds off that all the time. He has done all of his career, so I don't exactly know why we seem to just be always in this habit of getting it out wide. There are inside channels with Ndai and 𝐍𝐸𝐽𝐻, which are brilliantly exploited, because as soon as they get on the ball, they're heading for goal. And they're heading for goal and they're looking at where Billy's going, because he's dragging players all over the place. So the central third of the pitch needs to be exploited for the next game. We need to start looking at that. The other thing is we've got to sort out this, although we're starting to adapt to playing with a back four,